On Facebook and on YouTube, Nigeria Info 99.3. Just type in Nigeria Info 99.3 if you want to watch us live from anywhere in the world. Or just listen via our mobile app if you can listen to the radio right now. You can get it from your respective app stores. Let's start with Vanguard, page 3 of the Vanguard. Bamishe, Lagos government arraigns BRT driver over alleged rape, murder.
Okay, so finally we're making some progress in that regard. The driver was charged yesterday, but he was the only one who was charged. And he was charged with rape and murder. Okay, he was charged with rape and murder. But the charge also read that him and others at large. And I'm wondering why at least not one of those that conspired with him have not been brought to book now. I mean, it's not like, I'm sorry to say, it's not a sophisticated crime. I hope you understand what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's not a big crime, but it's not a sophisticated crime where the escape route would have been thought of and so on and so forth. I think that the reaction to it was unexpected, even on the part of those. So I'm surprised the police haven't been able to bring them in. But we'll see how it goes. The gentleman is the 47-year-old. He pleaded not guilty to the charge against him. He's been remanded at Ikoyi prison, and I think the trial, next time the trial will come up, is May 9, 10, 11 for commencement of trial. But I still can't. We would love to hear from the police what is the difficulty in identifying these accomplices. Have they been declared wanted, or we don't even know them at all? If the police don't know how to question this man, they should hand him over to the DSS. He will sing in all the tonics. Because it is important in this particular case that we get everybody involved. It is very, very important. This case is significant and it's going to send a signal. And don't forget, in the minds of some people, I am not one of those, but in the minds of some people, the government is complicit. So I'm not one of them. I don't know where they got that idea from. But once they have the idea, they have the idea. So we want a thorough trial of this gentleman, and we demand at the very least that even if you can't bring them to book because they're hiding somewhere, at least let us know them. Let them be identified. Very crucial.
Right, very, very. Yes, I do, completely. From page 9 to page 11 of the Vanguard, Anambra finances. I inherited 100 billion naira debt. Soludo.
Yeah, but there was cuts. This is a mess. And it happens all the time. And these successors always gloss over it. How do you, Anambra State, you have only 300 million naira cash and probably owing salaries and things, and then you have a debt stock of 100 billion. Oh, come on. And but in spite of that, he pours encomiums on his successor. And I think Soludo needs to be careful to understand that sometimes when you're also trying to be diplomatic, you owe your allegiance first and foremost to the people of your state, and not to your party, and not to your successor or your predecessor or whatever. Soludo needs quick training in public speaking. This is what he says. He says that he said he described really Obiano as an honorable man. He should have held on until we find out what exactly the EFCC have on him. Because you see, it's not, yes, you want to be nice and polite, but you hold your guard because you'll be quoted in future. And when you talk about honor, if a man has left just 100, how much has he left? 300 million, and he's owing 100 billion. You should be careful before you start. Why don't you find out what has actually happened? And he says that that he loves Anambra, he loves his people, and he did the best of his ability. Fair enough, but you need to be careful. You know, he needs to be guarded in public speaking. Now, for you to know what I'm talking about, listen. He also talks about somebody who took a video of him in the EFCC facility, and I'm wondering what's the big deal about that video anyway. He wasn't naked, he wasn't anything. He sat down in shorts and was drinking water. So
I think it's highly inappropriate.
I don't think so. I don't think so. Maybe if it was taken by an EFCC official, maybe, but it could have been taken by anybody. He wasn't in shackles. He sat down in a dignified manner and was drinking water. So what's the big deal?
I'm sure that in that environment, other
Yes.
people's phones would have been taken away from them.
Well, that's a security matter
in
for
that
the
environment.
But what I'm
So
saying
for
is,
that person to have violated the code in that office,
you
that
don't
person
know.
deserves to be.
You don't know.
No, I think that other people's phones would have been taken away from them.
Where were the other people
You
there?
can't record somebody on phone without his consent, especially in that situation. I think is grossly inadequate.
It wasn't inadequate because the photograph was not indecent.
It doesn't matter whether it's decent or not.
How many times do people have their photographs taken?
No, I'm not talking about other people. I'm talking about in this case now.
Yes.
In this particular case now.
Yes.
That person, he or she, shouldn't have recorded the former governor.
Well, I don't find anything wrong with that photograph. Abby? I don't find anything. I think we're kicking a fuss over nothing. People
I think it's a big
people
deal.
have been photographed over and over again. Even ordinary people are paraded in shackles. Ordinary people are paraded in shackles, beaten.
Which is wrong
1 second.
in itself.
Oh, what is good for the goose is good for the gander.
And we've always said that is wrong. It's a wrong thing to do.
The man sat down in a dignified manner. You see, let us be very honest with ourselves. In this fight we have against corruption, sometimes you have to take off the gloves. The man was in a decent. He was just drinking a bottle of water. What are we fussing about?
No, it doesn't matter. If we had his whatever, what do they call those people? His media team there recording him and everything, that you can do all of those things.
How can you have a media team? He's no longer a governor.
No,
excuse me.
Well, it still has.
Excuse me.
It still has. It still has his right as a private citizen right now. You cannot violate his privacy because you are in.
Privacy is in a public place.
No. Well, it's his privacy still. It's his privacy still.
No.
If look, Uncle Jimmy, wait. If I go to a hotel, I'm in a public. If I go to a hotel and I visit a hotel, right?
Yes.
I'm in a public place, but you have no right to start recording me because I go to a hotel.
Then don't go to the hotel.
No. You have no right to do that.
But what if I take your photograph just to say, "Oh, I saw Sheriff"? Is that against?
Why would you do that? I'm going to sue you. I'm going to get every penny you've got.
Lawyer to back off. But let's move on. I think people are kicking. I think people are kicking a fuss. I will admit,
I don't think so.
I will admit that I have an eagerness to put a stop to this nonsense where we protect the elite as against the common people. If we can parade people in handcuffs.
No, we cannot parade people in handcuffs. That's what I'm saying. We cannot do that.
Okay.
It is wrong to do that to start with.
Okay. Can I say I can go on?
Yes, sir.
Don't sign me. Don't bribe me. Anyway, he talks about the video because he could have avoided talking about it, but so on. But the one that I find that he shouldn't have said was when he said, "Listen to this, and listen well, before you disagree." He says, "I think it's the heat, Sheriff. The heat is affecting you." He says, "On the Ebele Obiano." No, I was only joking. On the Ebele Obiano and Bianca incident that took place during the swearing in, Soludo described it as a comedy that emerged, which people are enjoying. For God's sake, Mr. Governor. For God's sake, Mr. Governor. An embarrassment that happened at your swearing in between the wife of your predecessor and the wife of your mentor. And you consider it as a governor. You say it was a comedy. You say it was a comedy. I think that he should have chosen his words carefully. Rather, he should have said that we are looking into. He could have said something a bit more conciliatory than calling it. So you agree with me? Right?
Yes, of course.
So let's
do.
there's peace now.
No, there's COVID.
So are you suspecting that I'm? Oh my God! You just remind me of Awolowo. Who didn't want to take Shagari? You know, and he said that I didn't even notice much of what happened as it happened when I was trying to sign the oath. I just turned to that direction and turned back immediately to continue with what I was doing. I'm rather intensely focused on what we want to deliver to the people. I think this kind of reference was quite unfortunate, and he doesn't seem to realize, or he doesn't want to acknowledge, the significance of that incident, which at the very least took the shine off his own inauguration.
Yeah.
But that's what it is. Soludo might mean well, but he has to. Now you're a governor. You're no longer Charles Soludo. You're a governor, and everything you say, everything you do, must be well measured.
That's right. Absolutely. Let's go to the nation. We're leaving the Vanguard for now. VC Akeredolu decries invasion of OAU by traditionalists.
Yes, thank God. I'm happy my friend has done that. I'm happy my friend has done that. Nobody can justify what happened. To be honest with you, nobody can. At a federal university, even for if you want to push the argument further, the candidate that was chosen, it was from Osun State. I mean, so how far down do you want us to go in appointments of a vice chancellor into a federal institution? And I beg on this, Kabiyesi, sir, you need to make a statement on this. Let us know if you endorse this kind of, because this is an embarrassment to Ife. It's a big embarrassment. We keep saying we want to attract investments into areas. How would you attract any federal investment in your area when it turns out that you might be insisting that the whoever is going to head it must be an indigene of that area? It's like insisting that the VC of the University of Lagos must come from Yaba mainland local government. I mean, why do we do this? And not just that, I hear, and not confirmed, that the man who is from Ife himself, came ninth. By now, the man should have been answering questions if he was the one who instigated this action, because it's a desecration of the university.
Yes, it is.
It's a desecration of the university. And if it turns out that he was the one who instigated it, he should be removed from the exercise. It should be removed from the exercise. I mean, you can't intimidate people.
No, you can't.
That was what happened, was meant to intimidate those who are responsible for the choice. If for any reason, because I spoke to an Ife indigene yesterday, and this was what he told me. I don't want to mention his name because I didn't tell him I'll talk about this. But he said that, well, the Ife people were of the belief that they were being discriminated against in the university, partly because of some land dispute between them and the university. What all you needed to do was to write a well-packaged petition stating how this man was not chosen just because he's from Ife. Not that you bring people to come and perform traditional rites of some sort because you want him appointed. There are two different issues. If it was that because he was from Ife that he came ninth, then I would understand. Not to say that it is time for an Ife indigene. We can't run things that way. We can't run things that way. And we need to nip this in the bud. Communities need to realize that when you say you want federal investments in your area, it's more for development than appointment of persons. Okay, so if an Ife son is the university, what is the implication for the Ife people? What is the implication? Of course, your guess is as good as mine. Little contracts here and there and so on and so forth. No. Ife, sons and daughters who know, they should speak up. Oyetola too has said that that the governor of the state, he has appealed to the Ife indigenes, to give peace a chance and stop the protest. And Oyetola said that universities anywhere in the world are sacred institutions and everything must be done to accord them that dignity. It's a VC could be Indian, it could be from anywhere. It's a center of excellence. Okay, look at me now. I'm from Lagos State.
Yeah.
I did my A-levels. I applied to University of Benin. I didn't know anybody. Somebody called me one day and said, Jimi, we saw your name in the Observer. That's the Nigeria that I know. That is the Nigeria that I know. When I got to the University of Benin, there were lecturers, there were Oyinbo lecturers, there were Jamaicans, there were Igbos, there were one or two Northerners, there were some Yoruba lecturers, the heads of department, and that's the way it should be. Must we narrow down everything to our indigenous interests and caprices? Of course not. Of course not. I said that as much I'm on record, even when Lasso was involved, and I said, I am not one of those who would insist. It would be nice.
Yes, you did. You said that.
But I wouldn't insist. And please let us know that when we are doing these things, we are putting the lives of our children at stake. So that's the end of that for today. I thank Akeredolu very much for speaking out. He even spoke out louder than the
governor.
The governor. He condemned
Totally,
them
outrightly.
outrightly. Let me read what Akeredolu said. Can I?
Yes, please.
Sure,
Yeah, sir.
you will agree.
Maybe.
Okay, check.
No,
There's
sir.
COVID.
There's COVID.
If I put dollar in my hand and I give to you, take. It says, Akeredolu says, those responsible for this disgrace should be ashamed of themselves. This is assuming they possess any sense of shame. This act should elicit the most strident condemnation from all good people. I condemn it without equivocation. And I stand with Akeredolu on this.
I do too completely. Olumayowa says it's sad that we have descended to so low that the VC of a university has to be appointed not on merit but by quota. That's Olumayowa who sent that on YouTube. Let's go to this spread here on page 10 and 11 in the Punch newspaper. It says poisonous Kpomo test affirm Punch investigation show cowhide meat, that's Kpomo, processed with tires, plastic, unsafe for human consumption.
I don't know if some of us are aware of the danger that we face with the food we eat.
Right.
Kpomo is one. Fuku is another. But guess what? Banana. I bought banana about 4 times now that I've had to condemn.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Banana. Because, at the end of the day, I heard that some people use some carbide to ripen it.
Right.
So when you taste the banana, it's not the banana that you used to know. It's a bit mushy in the mouth. Condemn that. The same with oranges. Oranges have one kind of sweetness that is not natural. And you ask yourself, where is this coming from? The same with chicken. Nowadays, if you are wise, you go buy a whole chicken yourself in the market, kill, and put in the pot. To go and buy these cartons of thighs and whatever, you don't know, all kinds of stories are making the rounds. When you eat chicken these days, I grew up, this food is about acquired taste. Right. I grew up on the native fowl. When I was growing up, there was no agric. Cuckoo, we had cuckoo, give them corn, catch one and slaughter, and that's it. Nice and tasty. So all of us have run to guinea fowl. Look at guinea fowl too, the same thing.
Yeah.
Ejaro, what's that one called now?
Ejaro.
What's the English for ejaro?
Is ejaro.
The English for ejaro. I keep telling you. What's wrong with this boy? Is it the heat? Anyway, fish. Don't mind it. Fish. We have the same thing. Where I'm going is this. We are gradually poisoning ourselves slowly. Slowly. And that's why people are falling ill, and sometimes they get to hospital and they say, oh, we don't know what is wrong with you. They package you labor from there to the mortuary.
I remember having a conversation with a doctor in the studio, and I asked the question like, why do we have so many cases of cancer, this cancer, that cancer? And one of the answers she gave, apart from others, is that our lifestyle has changed.
And we are eating, I say we are eating poisons. It's different from not eating well. Okay? But we are eating poisons. I mean, if you cannot with comfort go and buy a fruit and eat, then we are in trouble. We are in trouble. If we can't eat things that Kpomo is the delicacy, is the cheapest meat that you know.
You can say that again.
You can say that again. Now, if you are wise, you give Kpomo a wide berth, unless of course you kill the cow yourself. Even the fish, even those who want fresh fish, you better think twice before buying fresh fish at Isaleko. Do you know why?
Jaro is catfish.
Catfish. God bless that man, Ojare. Even if you go buy fresh fish, you want it real fresh. If you go buy the one by the Isaleko, sometimes when you cut the fish, you see human feces in it.
Oh, wow.
Yes, that's been long. That from the days when the town council used to tip feces in the water. We used to throw feces in the water in Lagos years back. That habit hasn't stopped. If you drive along the outer marina by 6:30, 6:15 in the morning, you see a row of suppliers of human feces. Oma Tony, you just see a row of them, a sea of heads. Because a large part of then some go. If you see somebody going in the morning with the paper bag towards the waterfront, he's going to empty his what they have done in the paper bag at home is go to empty it in the sea. The fish eat it, they look robust. Don't let me spoil your morning. Let's all be careful what we eat. But we would like to call on our authorities to quickly step in. That's your duty. And make sure that we do not have these health-related, food challenges that we have. The authorities should go to the market, inspect some of these things, and trace all the way backwards to how they are produced. The same even now applies to cooked food. I'm sure all of you will agree with me that cooked food no longer tastes the way it should taste, even in some of the best hotels. And that's because all kinds of things are added. I don't want to call their brand names. But all kinds of things. But these things are poisonous. And so let's all be very, very careful. At this rate, all of us might, at least until we have a government who will wake up to this, might need to have little farms in our backyards.
Well, that's been canvassed by,
But how many things would you produce? You will produce. Are you going to produce the cow?
I'm thinking that perhaps you can start, rearing chickens.
But it's so funny. It's so funny that we make that an issue because my mom was a student.
It used to be that way.
It used to be normal. When I said cuckoo, it was my job to feed the chicken. We had pets in our house. My mother had a little farm at our backyard in Yaba. Everybody did. And you feed the chickens. I was supposed to feed the cat and the dog. But that cat, if I see it comes back to life again, one day I'll tell you what it did. But I will feed the dog. That's our cat. We called him Pussy. I'll never, if he comes back to this one. No, I'm not cruel to animals, but that one, he offended me small. Okay, so there's another story here.
Yes.
In fact, we do have. This story is frightening.
So the story reads in the business and economy page of the Punch: massive job cut looms as dollar hits 590 naira. Forex scarcity bites harder.
Especially for those of you working in the manufacturing sector, I think you need to brace yourself.
Oh, they've been making noise. Man has been shouting. There
will be lots of job losses. Those in the manufacturing and attendant. In fact, in all sectors, really, because they're all...
Yeah, so you're right, Uncle Jimmy, because I hear that even telecoms now are rationing fuel. They are transmitting whatever stations that they have, all those massive things. I also hear banks now are cutting down. Even radio stations are,
I went to the eye clinic yesterday. They told me to come within certain hours when they can put on the big generator.
Okay.
Because there's some tests I need to. The equipment are very sensitive and so on and so forth. Let me shock Nigerians. Let me read this. The experiences of manufacturers were far worse. Okay? Somebody says he applied. We are talking of the exchange rate now. Somebody applied for a 5,000 business traveling allowance to CBN, but the bank could only give him $2,000. He applied for 5, he got 2. That's a lucky one. Listen to this experience.
Yeah.
This gentleman says, never in a million years would I have thought that Nigeria would get to this stage. How do you explain that a manufacturer had an invoice of $4,000 to import materials and all that is allocated to him from the central bank is $210? Now, it doesn't say whether it's $210,000 or $210, but it says 210. I can't even wrap my brain behind it. This is credited to Bola Adefila, who is the Chief Operating Officer of Van Root Rolls, Nigeria Limited. It says that the Director General of MAN, Segun Ajayi Kadir, said that the forex scarcity and the high cost of diesel had greatly increased the cost of production, adding that employers may be forced to lay off some workers in order to cope with the new realities. Of course, what it also means is that most of the things we produce are going to end up being substandard. Already, you can see if you go buy toilet roll, by the time you go to the toilet once, the thing is finished. If you buy any of the insecticides to spray, by the time you spray 2-3 days, it's gone.
Content will be fewer.
Quality
will drop.
Quality will drop. The insecticides that you have now even wheeze you up. They put some chemical to wheeze you up. Whether that now kills the insects, you don't know. So we are in deep trouble, and you keep asking yourself, how is this government addressing these issues? Rather, for example, we have a CBN governor who is deceiving himself and deceiving other people by saying that some people want him to be president. Is that what he should be thinking of? We are in death straits. The government itself hasn't come out to say, I haven't seen it, that, the current condition, it demands this, and this is what we are going to do. I don't see anything. We got an apology, which was neither here nor there. But in all honesty, who is going to address these issues? Somebody should come and tell us the truth. Is the condition we are in, is it redeemable? If it is not redeemable, what do we do?
Where do we go from there?
We need an action plan.
But we have to go now. That's our action plan.
You have to go?
Yes, we have to. I think we need extra 30 minutes. If you have money, bring it. Let's sponsor 30 minutes.
Really?
If you have money, just bring it. We'll give 30 minutes again. We need more time.
My boss.
Oh my God, you just said that already. We have to go. Thank you so much. Lagos, let's go now. Sorry, sir. The news is next.
All right.
Yeah.
When opportunity knocks, Doreen answers.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.